What's up, YouTube? This is Hero Sports Cards, and this is NBA Top Shot Fantasy 101. So first off, getting started in Top Shot Fantasy is not like your typical fantasy basketball or football. There isn't like a Yahoo fantasy app or a ESPN fantasy app that you can go to, and it's simple because this is at the very beginning and beta stages of testing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to this website right here, Swyysh.com. That's Swyysh with two Y's in the middle instead of an I. And you'll want to click on this button right here, Launch Fantasy Game. Okay, once you're on this webpage, swyysh.quellcode.de, which is where that button took us, you'll notice that it prompts you to submit a showcase right here. This is the way in which you're submitting your own personal fantasy lineup for the week through Swyysh. And if you haven't created a showcase before in NBA Top Shot, I will be going over that in just a second. But first, if you scroll down just a bit, you'll see the page has a How It Works section, which is essentially what I'm explaining in this video, and the rules. These are the rules you have to follow when submitting a lineup. To explain how this all works, let's head over to creating a showcase on the NBA Top Shot site. Now that you're on the NBA Top Shot website, go ahead and go to your collection, which is this button up here. And in your collection, go to the Showcases tab right here. And once you're there, click on the button Create a Showcase. One of the rules of Top Shot Fantasy is that your showcase that you submit must have the word Swyysh in it. So before we forget, let's go ahead and create a name for our showcase that includes the word Swyysh. Alright, we're almost ready to add moments to our fantasy showcase. But before we can do that, let's go over the rules to know what moments we can and can't use. So these are the rules posted on the Swyysh website that I showed you earlier. An important rule to note is that you're only allowed to include 5 moments total in your fantasy showcase. 2 of those moments can be a dunk, jump shot, or a layup type moment. 1 of those moments must be a 3-pointer. 1 of those moments must be an assist or a handle moment. And the last one must be a block or a steal. You must have exactly those number of moments in your showcase, or it will not allow you to submit your showcase on Swyysh. To illustrate how this works, I'm going to show you my lineup for Top Shot Fantasy Week 4. So we're back on the Top Shot website, and I'm going to start adding the moments that I want in my lineup to my showcase. So I'll start by adding Nerlens Noel for my block slot in my lineup. And then I'll add Zach LaVine for my 3-point slot. I'll add Chris Paul for my assist slot. And lastly, I'm going to be adding Nikola Vucevic and Zion Williamson for my 2 2-pointer slots. So this is what those moments look like when broken down by the Top Shot Fantasy rules. The Nikola Vucevic and Zion Williamson moments are classified as 2-pointers because they are a layup type and dunk type, as you see there. The next thing, Zach LaVine's moment here is classified as a 3-pointer because you see here it's a 3-pointer type moment, and Chris Paul's assist is an assist moment because of that type right there, and Nerlens Noel is defense because he is a block type. Now, there are a few moment types that I didn't get to show you with those 5 examples, so let me just show you really quick what those look like. So Jaylen Brown here has a pretty diverse portfolio when it comes to different types of moments. If you look at this jump shot moment here, this would be considered a 2-pointer in Top Shot Fantasy. This handles moment here would be considered an assist, and this steal moment here would be considered defense. Alright, now let's get back to our showcase that we created earlier. Now that we have all 5 of the moments added, we can then save the showcase. Then what you want to do is click on this button here to copy the link to your showcase. The next step is to go back to Swyysh so we can finally submit this showcase. We're back to the Swyysh website now, so let's go ahead and paste that link we just copied and press Submit Showcase. Now it should load all of those players we added to our showcase. And there we go. This lineup is now submitted for next week's Top Shot Fantasy competition. One of the last things you probably want to know is how to check how your lineup is actually performing. So to do that, start by going to the Leaderboard tab on the Swyysh website. Here you can see the total standings for all of the users who submitted a lineup for the current week. You can also view the leaderboard from last week, but that's all you can see for leaderboards up to this point. There's no record of week 1, week 2, or in the future you won't be able to see anything besides the current week and the previous week. So if you scroll down, it shows you the total points of each username. So if I go down to my team, I'm ranked 85th, and this is after the first day of games in this week. And I'm recording on a Tuesday, so this only has Monday games recorded. And to view your own lineup stats for the current week, go to the Stats tab here. So in the Stats tab, you can see the breakdown of points that each of your players scored for you during that week. So yesterday, Nerlens Noel, Zion, CP3, and Zach LaVine all accumulated points for me. And Nikola Vucevic did not play yesterday, so that's why he has 0 points. So Nerlens got 5 blocks last night, which equals 10 fantasy points. Zion got 10 points from 2-pointers last night, so that's 10 fantasy points. CP3 had 9 assists, so that equals 18 fantasy points. And Zach LaVine had 3 threes last night, which is 9 fantasy points. Alright, so you might be thinking, what's the point of doing all this work? Do you win money for coming first? What are the prizes? So what we're looking at here is the leaderboard from last week. And I could be mistaken, but I think the top 10 users were awarded free moments. But that's irrelevant now because in this current week, number 4, the top place finisher is going to receive $50, second and third will receive $20, and 4th through 10th will receive $10. Plus, they're giving away participation badges. I think moving forward, they'll be keeping track of people who are frequent players and will be giving out more sought-after badges to those users. And I'm not sure what they'll continue doing in terms of monetary prizes going forward. Which brings me to the next topic. What can we expect from Top Shot Fantasy moving forward? So first off, I've been chatting with one of the creators of Top Shot Fantasy on Discord, so that's how I got some of this information. Starting with number 1, what will prizes and badges look like in the future? And as far as prizes, I'm not sure, but it looks like they'll continue to give out prize money to the top 10 finishers each week to incentivize people to play. And like I mentioned before, they're looking to give out badges mostly to users who participate frequently. Now, number 2, they're looking into including more than 5 moments per lineup. 5 moments is pretty limited in terms of how creative you can get with your lineup, so I'm really hoping they can implement this change in the future to make it feel more like fantasy basketball or football, where you have way more than 5 players on your team. And number 3, more game formats. I'm not sure what this would look like exactly, maybe breaking up the points by category to be more like fantasy head-to-head category formats. I don't know. If you have an idea of what you'd like to see in the future, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Alright guys, last thing before we finish up this video, and these are just other rules that you need to know to play Top Shot Fantasy, and then we'll get out of here. Alright, so number 1, you get 1 fantasy lineup per NBA Top Shot account. So if you submit a lineup and you're thinking maybe I can get another one in there to win one of the top 10 prizes, you can't do that. If you submit another lineup using a showcase with another name or something, it will overwrite because it recognizes your Top Shot username. Number 2, you can only use 1 moment per player. This is to limit using 2 moments from LeBron or 3 moments from KD or something like that. So you're only limited to 1 moment per player. And lastly, number 3, you must submit your lineup by Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time for us in the United States. And that is to get your lineup in for the next week. Alright everybody, that does it for me for this episode of Top Shot Fantasy 101. If you liked this video, please go ahead and hit that like button, and please subscribe if you thought this video was helpful and want to see more like it. Alright, take care everyone. Hero Sports Cards out.